There are way too many personal development books out there, and they all claim that they're going to change your mindset, change your life, do all of these amazing things. I've read so many of these, and honestly, some of them are trash. But I have 3 top books that I've read over the last couple of years that I want to share with you because they can actually change your life. Hi, it's Kelly here, back with another video. If you're new to my channel, I encourage you to stick around and join the community by hitting that big red subscribe button down below for new planning and productivity videos. So self-help, self-care, personal development, all of these have become real buzzwords that we see all the time, we hear on social media, and that has led to more and more books being written around the topic. And it's really difficult when you go to choose a book to know if it's actually going to help you or if it's just going to make you kind of feel bad or feel empowered but not really know what to do next. The very first book that I want to talk about is called Think Like a Monk, and it's by Jay Shetty. Now, if you don't know who Jay Shetty is, Jay Shetty used to be a monk himself. He is now an influencer. He makes a lot of content for YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, loads of other platforms where he talks about the ideas of finding your purpose, and he does a lot of self-help content. And whenever he announced he was releasing a book, I was kind of like, yay, this will be really good, but also in my head I was kind of like, is it going to be anything better than what he puts on his YouTube and that kind of thing, because I'd watched a lot of his videos already. But the really great thing about this book is that it's really focused around how to find your purpose in life. So rather than being similar to a lot of self-help books which are kind of like, this is the thing that's wrong, this is what you want to be, they don't give you that like middle gap of like, okay, how do I actually get there? Like, what do I do next? Whereas with this book, I really found that I kind of came away from it and I was like, okay, I kind of know what my next step is. I know what I need to practically do in my life to change that. I really like in this book that he talks about a concept called your Dharma, and I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of that, but basically what it means is that when you're living in your Dharma, you're doing what you're passionate about, you're doing what you love, but you're also doing something that's helping people. And it's just about what you have in your life, how you can find that. And I really love that concept that he talks about in this book. So yeah, it's a really great book. Highly recommend it. I read it as an audiobook, which again I highly recommend because Jay Shetty actually reads it then. You hear it in his voice, it just provides like a little bit more empowerment, I think, and the words kind of hit a bit different when they're coming from him. So I highly recommend reading it as an audiobook. I did that on Audible, and I have a couple of videos about Audible if you want to go and check those out. Now, I don't know about you guys, but anytime I'm logging into Audible or any of my other audiobook services, or even just Amazon to go on and buy books, I tend to find that I forget my password all the time. And this is where Nordpass can come in. So Nordpass is basically an all-in-one password manager. So it's a place where you can store all of your passwords securely and access with one master password. So essentially, you only need to remember one password instead of hundreds of different passwords. And every website you log on to these days, you have to create an account, you've got to enter a password. The password might have 5 different criteria. So this basically just lets you store all of that in one place and not have to worry about any of that part of it. And I love that. And not only can you store your passwords in it, but you can actually store your credit and debit card details as well. And I tend to find that when I'm online shopping, if there's a box that says store my card details and you can click it and the website will keep them, I'm always really careful because I think, what are they going to do with that? Like, I don't want to give my credit card details to loads of different websites and them have that information. So with Nordpass, they store it securely instead of your details being stored in all of these different accounts. Along with that, it stops you having to go and run and get your purse every time you want to buy something online, which is definitely something I used to do. They also have a password health feature, and this basically allows you to evaluate the current passwords that you have. Are they good? Do they need to be changed? Have you had it for a long time and maybe you need to generate a new one? It just gives you that peace of mind that your passwords are as strong as they can be to prevent any kind of hacking. So if, like me, you hate remembering your passwords and you want to make sure all of your details are safe and secure, you can try Nordpass today and you can get 57% off and an additional 4 months free, which is just like, is such a good deal, honestly. And you can get this by going to nordpass.com/KellyT or entering my coupon code KellyT at checkout to get this deal. And a big thank you to Nordpass for partnering with me on this video. And again, a huge thank you to you guys just for watching. Now let's get on and talk about book number 2. Now the second book that is an absolute must read is called The One Thing, and this is by an author called Gary Keller. Now, this book is really good because what it does is it talks about the importance of focusing on one task instead of multitasking. So it allows you to find focus on one specific thing so that you're not focusing on loads, which sounds really simple, but I tend to find myself, I write a to-do list at the start of the day. I know everything I want to get done. I'll start on a little bit of something, then I'll be like, oh, I don't really know what to do next. I'll go and get a coffee, get distracted, do something else, and then look at my list at the end of the day and go, okay, I got like nothing done, or I got half of things done. This book basically makes you focus on one thing instead of loads of things, and it reminds me so much of there is a scene in a movie or TV show or something, and I can't remember where I read it or heard it, so please let me know in the comment section down below if you know where this comes from. But there is someone who says, don't half-ass a few things, whole-ass one thing. And I can't remember what that's from, but that always kind of comes to mind when I think of this book and when I was reading this book. What I love about this book that makes it really unique is it's only about 220 pages, very easy to read, but at the back it has a bunch of questions. So it's got like, what's the one thing that you could do in your job to get your project finished? What's the one thing you could do to finish on time? What's the one thing you could do to etc. So it gives you loads of practical next steps as well, of things that you can actually do differently or things that you can think about answering. But it's really helpful. It helps you be more productive, helps you cut down on time wasting, and it helps you just get stuff done, which again is just like, sounds simple, but it's life-changing once you know how to do it properly. And the third book that is an absolute must-read is called Make Time, and this one is by Jake Knapp and John Zeratsky. Now they've made a couple of books, one of which is called Sprint, and it was like a Sunday Times bestseller, like a super popular book, and I haven't read that one, but I definitely want to. But this one is called Make Time, and it's all about how you can make time for things that you actually care about or want to make time for. Now, if you're anything like me, I tend to find most days I go, I just don't have time. I don't have time for this. I don't have time to do it. I write a to-do list that's way too long, and then I never have time to do any of the stuff on it. I just can't make time for the things I want to make time for. And this book really just helped me to hone in on what I wanted to make time for, and then help me actually figure out how to do that and how to fit it into my day. And there's definitely a couple of things that are unique or different about this book that I really love. So I love that it's by two people, and when you listen to the audiobook, which is how I read it, you can kind of feel like you're having a conversation with friends. You kind of just feel like you're talking to people that you know. They use a lot of anecdotal advice from things that they've done in their own lives that have really helped them. They also talk about how to balance this kind of advice with like a 9-to-5. So they're like, yeah, a lot of the stuff you might not be able to do as a 9-to-5, but this is how you can. Genuinely, I think it's just such a great book, and definitely practical advice, stuff you can follow, helping you make time for the things that you actually want to make time for, and it's made a huge difference to me. So I will link all three books in the description box down below if you want to pick them up for yourself. Also, please do let me know in the comment section down below what your favorite personal development books are. I would absolutely love to know, because I would love to read some of them for myself if I haven't already. And don't forget, you can get 57% off at Nordpass plus an additional 4 months for free if you go to nordpass.com/KellyT or enter my coupon code KellyT at checkout. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.